Let's move on to the Philadelphia Eagles. And yesterday, they almost reached into 100 degrees at practice. It was also their longest practice of camp. Jalen Hurts did not look so great, although he didn't look so hot, although the temperatures were hot. He was without both of his left tackles, his starting left tackle, Emilietta, and Andre Dillard. Both are out with concussions, which is wild because they have those fancy little pads on top of their helmets, but somehow they're out with concussion. I digress. He was also out with Devante Smith, who was battling a groin injury. The Eagles say that they're going to be very cautious. He is day-to-day. They're going to take it very slow with Devante Smith. But Jalen Hurts did not look so great. He does have A.J. Brown there. The Eagles added a whole lot of pieces to this team in the offseason. Aaron, what player are you most excited to see in camp and during the season for the Eagles?
Well, I'm really excited to see I'm really excited to see Jordan Mailata, not Mailata.
Honestly, I knew I was going to get called out for that, and I saw it in the doc. I'm reading it, and like my brain is going so fast, and I knew I should have spelled it out the way it's written, the way it's said, but I didn't. I decided to go like a jackass and just do something that I shouldn't have done, and that's it. Yeah.
Who cares how you say his name? He's a really good offensive lineman, one of the better left tackles in football. So, no, I think there's only one thing here with the Philadelphia Eagles. And I know I've mentioned their secondary hasn't been the greatest, but you got Bradbury now over there and Darius Slay. It's two, really good cornerbacks. This is all about Jalen Hurts. You can't have I know it's training camp, and I'm the first one to be like, don't worry about it. You can't have the talk out of camp be, Jalen Hurts didn't have a great day again today. Jalen Hurts didn't look that great today, because he is the question mark on this football team. This is what they've been trying to figure out since the Carson Wentz, since the Nick Foles drama. Is Jalen Hurts going to be our future quarterback or not? This is why they traded another first-round draft pick to get one next year to say, you know what? Let's give Jalen Hurts another year. Let's go add A.J. Brown. We've given him enough now. He has to show us that he's the future. Jalen Hurts cannot afford to come into this season mediocre. He is not going to last, and it's not fair. I'll be honest. There's quarterbacks in the league that are getting far more chances than Jalen Hurts will get if he doesn't succeed this year. But if he looks bad this year, he's mediocre, or there's any questions about whether he can be the future of the Philadelphia Eagles or not, next year the Eagles will be drafting quarterback in the first round, because the class is deep, because there's a lot of talent in there, and because they never really fully invested in Jalen Hurts. They've always been these question marks lingering around the organization. So for me, it's all about Jalen Hurts. He has a lot of pressure on him. Do I think he can do it? I think he can. I think he has the skill set to grow and get better, but it has to translate into actual skill set of a quarterback, the accuracy. You can't complete 59% of your passes. You have to be making strides and improving in areas that you didn't look good in last year, especially that playoff game when he struggled mightily against Tampa Bay. So I look for him. That's all I'm really watching. A.J. Brown, Devante Smith, that offensive line, the defensive line, which has been really good, added to Jordan Davis. You bring over, or you get Nakobe Dean in the draft, and you already have guys like Kazir White, Hassan Reddick that you brought over, Derek Barnett on the front of that line, and then the two guys in the back end of that defense that you mentioned. I think their team as a whole is a really talented roster. But for whatever reason, it's not equating to, I think this team is going to be good enough to get to a certain level. And I think it's directly pointed at the quarterback position.
Yeah, and like you said with the Cowboys, they run through the offensive line. This Eagles team is going to run through Jalen Hurts, and that's how it's going to be. They have playmakers everywhere now. I mean, they loaded up defensively, bringing in James Bradbury, obviously Darius Slay on the other side. One note, though, you brought up a certain player, and I'm very interested to see in the comments from our Eagles fans how they've been feeling about Nakobe Dean through training camp, because from what I've seen, he's been very quiet. There's nothing really to talk. Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe it's a good thing that you're not hearing that much about Nakobe Dean. Maybe you're not hearing the bad thing. Maybe there's just no bad things, and there's just really no great things for Nakobe Dean through training camp. But I know that he's been very quiet, and they've been very quiet about him during camp. So Eagles fans in the comments, let us know what your thoughts are on what you're seeing from Nakobe Dean and what you hope to see during the regular season. Do you have any thoughts on the Nakobe Dean chat?
Yeah, I don't want to say like I told you so, but he got some first team reps just due to, some they give first team reps to guys. It's going to be hard for him to be as special as he was at UGA. It's going to be hard for him to be that special in the NFL. Undersized, doesn't have great speed. In college, he had great speed. In the NFL, that speed is not great anymore. So that being as undersized as he is, having injury concerns, it's going to take a Herculean effort for Nakobe Dean to be special. This is why when your Jaguars took Chad Muma, I said I liked that move over getting a Nakobe Dean because I think Chad Muma is the type of guy that is going to make a difference in the NFL. So again, I'm not knocking Nakobe Dean's game. I think he can play in the NFL. I just don't think he'll ever be that special guy. The more I watch him, the more I pay attention to his being undersized and inability to really get off of big linemen, I worry about his longevity as a star or even being a starter in the NFL. I think he'll have to fill in somewhere as a backup, get his opportunities, and he might get that opportunity this year with Philly. And when he gets that opportunity, he will have to be super special in order to never relinquish that bat. But it's going to be a difficult kind of path for him. So it's not surprising that we're not hearing special things from Nakobe Dean in training camp. The NFL game is not college. And we do this all the time where he was so good at Georgia. And they, you had Trayvon Walkers and, Lewis C. We can talk about all the guys on Georgia's defense last year and think about the leader of that defense. It was Nakobe Dean. All those guys that were drafted high, they looked up to Nakobe Dean, and Nakobe Dean was the last one drafted. Isn't being highly touted as some NFL player because the measurables of him weren't there. But yet he has the mind. He's a super high IQ guy, and he has the want and the will and the leadership. But sometimes that skill level at the NFL level doesn't match that. So he has to work 10 times harder and is going to need, again, a Herculean effort to really break through that. I don't want to say glass ceiling, but break through to where he really wants to be.
He has been working with the ones. He has been getting a lot of starting reps through training camp. But again, nothing special. A lot of people are still looking for that. A lot of reporters I've seen are still noting that they're looking for him to do something special in camp. But from the reports I've seen in his quotes, he's taking a student of the game approach and leaning heavily on the leadership that the Eagles have, which, I mean, they have a ton of great guys to look up to in that locker room.
Especially on that defense.
From your Jason Kelce on offense to your Fletcher Cox. And I mean, it's a loaded team to be able to have that kind of leadership. And it's going to be huge for the development of Nakobe Dean